All right, everybody, welcome to SR Broadcasting. Tonight, we are here with the SoMo Racing League, DAYZ Racing Xfinity Series, and they are at Watkins, Glen for 55 laps here tonight. It'll be a very interesting race here. Looks like right now there's about 16 guys out on the field. We'll see if 16 guys take the grid tonight. A lot of guys don't really like running road courses, and next week's race is Mid-Ohio, another road course in the DAYZ Racing Xfinity Series. So some of the guys that don't show up going to go back a little bit in the points. I understand, a lot of people don't really like the road courses, but, we're here. Anyway, tonight's race is brought to you by BZ Design. So we want to thank BZ Design for sponsoring tonight's race and tomorrow night's race in the DAYZ Racing Cup Series on PBR Broadcasting with SoMo Racing League. BZ Design is also sponsoring that race. So double back-to-back Watkins Glen's coming up here. Looks like the guys just got out of a driver's meeting, so let's go down on the track and take a look. Some of the guys going around. Let's take a look at the top 5 real quick. Right now, Keith Mayato's 110, 984. Lupe Gonzalez, Adam Baker, Chris Samard, Joe Mitchell. Top 5 right now on the track. Got about a little over 6 minutes left here in warm-up before they go to qualify. Tonight, there is no cautions. Unless something really bad happens out on the track, they won't run with a caution. There is still no fixes, no fast repairs in the series. Admins do, if they deem it needs to be a caution to gather the field back up, or for something, the admins can throw caution, but otherwise it will just stay green 55 laps through. Let's go over the points real quick here. Coming in right now, Keith Mayato is your leader, and he's got quite a big jump over second place Adam Baker. Aaron Riley is in third. David Howard Jr. is in fourth. David Gainforth in fifth. Len McNeese hangs on to sixth. Dean Viney's in seventh. Joe Mitchell is in eighth. Billy Howard's in ninth. Chris Samard's in 10th. Paul Cohen holds on to 11th. And Jeff Glockner is on the bubble in 12th. So Jeff's going to need a good run here and next week, 2 road courses to stay in that bubble to get in that chase that's coming up. See who's out there. We got Mayato right now in the number 1 spot, running some laps. Let's jump in and do a lap around with Mayato here. We see him get just a little bit sideways there. Start slipping up just a little bit, going through those S's. Not bad when you're alone, but when you are in traffic, a bunch of guys around you, that could be pretty bad. But Mayato right now is fastest car out there right now for the warm-up laps. Hoping to see a pretty good race here tonight. Let's see, tonight we are going to have something a little bit different. Our very own Jeff Glockner, driver of the 88, his daughter Olivia did a national anthem for us, so we're going to play that here tonight. She's 14. I'm sorry, hang on one second. She's 14, going to be 15 years old, and she was kind enough to do a national anthem for us. So we're going to go ahead and play that, and then we'll get back with Qualify.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
All right, we wanted to thank Olivia for that, and thank our driver, Jeff Glockner, driving the number 88. Hopefully he able to put on a good show here tonight for her. Got about 28 seconds left before we do go to qualify. We will have the grid up, and we'll see who's going to take the top spot here to start off with. So the track conditions right now, 66 degrees air temperature, partly cloudy skies, and a 92-degree track. Cars look pretty good out there. All right, we're getting ready to roll a qualify. We'll see who gets out on the track first, and see who's going to start here on the pole. All right, let's see. First one. Well, I guess we'll watch Keith Mayato. Let's jump inside. We'll run that qualify lap around with him. How about that? I think that'll be pretty cool. Alright, so watching him going through the S's right now. Looks like he's doing pretty good. Got that car a lot more stable than that one lap we went through with him before. Coming to the bus stop. And now the carousel turn. What's up there, Mr. Kurt? How you doing? And Keith Miato right now with a 110.721. Travis Wall up. Adam Baker now moves up into second with a 111.238. Let's go take a look at the 75 of Ronald Henry. Hopefully Ronald Henry have a good run here tonight. Ronald had some bad luck the last couple races here. I know this is, I believe Ronald Henry is definitely not a road track guy, but good to see him out here, man, and doing pretty good so far. Oh, Ronald Henry's going to lose it in the carousel turn. Let's go to the 07 of Billy Howard. So right now, Keith Miato still hanging on to that top spot. Adam Baker, Travis Wall, Joe Mitchell, Lupa Gonzalez, the top 5. David Howard Jr., Aaron Riley, Dean Viney, Len McNeese, Billy Howard, the 5 through 10. We'll see if any of that changes here while the time runs out. So we have 55 laps here, no fast repairs, and like I said, there won't be any cautions thrown during the race unless something really catastrophic happens. Then the admins have the right to go ahead and throw it if need be, but I don't see any of that happening. All right, so Keith Miato's going to start here on the pole. We'll wait for these guys to grid up. So we have Keith Miato, GAC Racing. He'll start on the pole. Congratulations to Keith for that run. Adam Baker with MB Motorsports. He'll be starting second. Travis Wall, Max Rev Motorsports. He'll be starting third. Joe Mitchell starting fourth for MB Motorsports. Fifth place will be Lupa Gonzalez. And sixth place, David Howard Jr. with Diamond State Racing. Seventh place, Aaron Riley of SoMo Racing. Dean Viney will be starting 8th for GAC Racing. 9th is Len McNeese, and he'll be starting for GAC Racing in that 9th position. Billy Howard, F and A, I'm not sure again what that is, but Billy Howard will be starting 10th. 11th place will be Chris Samard of GAC Racing. Brian Neff, who was out on the track but is not out there now for Can-Am Racing, it's showing him in 12th. 13th will be Jeff Glockner, driving the number 88 for SoMo Racing. David Gameforth will be starting 14th for GAC Racing. 15th is Ronald Henry for Can-Am Racing, and Michael Palmer 16th. And I got to check with Michael. I believe Michael is GAC Racing also. And that'll round out your field. So 15 guys will start here tonight. And tonight's race is brought to you by BZ Design. So we want to thank BD Design for coming on board. And we're here with SoMo Racing League in the Lazy Days Racing Xfinity Series. And we're moving closer to the chase. Got Watkins Glen here, 55 laps. Next week will be Mid-Ohio, another road course. I believe that's going to be a 45 lapper. And I don't know. I guess we're going to have to tune in and find out what happens. The pace car is going to bring them around, and green flag will fly. We'll cut them loose. Biggest thing is getting through turn 1 and getting through the S's up here. Once you kind of get through there and things kind of even out a little bit, kind of spread out a little bit, getting into the bus stop. Guys got to pay attention to who's braking, where they're braking, try not to run each other over. Usually a race like this kind of spreads out a little bit. Pit strategy comes in, especially on the green. So it can be anybody's race really tonight. See the lights out, everybody side by side, patiently waiting to get across. And watch that pace car go in, get this thing fired up here tonight. I see Kurt Davidson hanging around here, but I have no communication with him. But if you can hear me, Kurt, what's going on, brother? Let's see if it's anything on my end. The green flag is out. Keith Mayato's got a good lead. Travis Wall in the 44 right behind him on the inside line. It looks like they will quickly get that solved out. You get this caught up. There we go. Go back a little bit in the field. See Chris Simard and Aaron Riley kind of duking it out for position with Dean Viney. All right, I think I might have you now, Kurt. You got a copy on me?
I'm not sure, Paul. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now, man.
Yeah, I'm having serious troubles right now.
Yeah, join the club. That seems to be the thing anytime now. But looks like they're off to a pretty good start here. Keith Mayato in first, Travis Wall in second, third place Adam Baker, Lupa Gonzalez in fourth, and David Howard Jr. in fifth. We'll go back to sixth to Joe Mitchell. And then it's a little bit back to 33 of Aaron Riley and Chris Simard. And that's for 7th and 8th right there. It looks like everybody's still Almost everybody's on the track. Jeff Glockner is in the pits. I'm not sure what happened with Jeff. We go back to 12th place, the 84 of Len McNeese. And then 13th. Oh, we see the 07 of Billy Howard just go around. Let's quick back up and see what happened to Billy Howard there. Looked like he caught a bit of that rumble strip and going into the carousel, and the car didn't really like that. So, but he's back out on the track. So Keith Mayato out to about a 7/10 lead over Travis Wall. A little bit back is Adam Baker. A little bit further back from him is Lupa Gonzalez. He's in 4th. David Howard Jr. is in 5th. Joe Mitchell still hanging on to 6th. Chris Simard does get around Aaron Riley, so that'll put Simard in 7th. Aaron Riley in 8th with Ronald Henry right behind him. And Dean Viney rounding out your top 10, not too far off. Oh, we see Chris Simard off into the sand. Chris Simard in that 77 took a little bit of a ride into the sand. Doesn't look like he's got any damage from it, so able to get back out on the track. There's 55 laps here, so there's plenty of time to get back out. Green flag pit strategies are going to be big here. See David Howard Jr. and Joe Mitchell running through. Go back up to the number 44 of Travis Wall. He's got him down to about 5/10 right now. Keith Mayato still out front. 4 laps led of this race. And right behind Travis Wall, we have Adam Baker. Adam Baker's been on a roll here the past few weeks. Picked up himself a couple good wins. And then Lupa Gonzalez, the number 53, 575 Motorsports. Lupa Gonzalez, a real good road racer. Can't imagine not seeing him up towards the front somewhere by the middle of this run. And the number 7 of David Howard, everybody knows him as Mr. Tire Saver. That dude can save himself some tires, man, and pull something out of the hat there at the end. Excuse me.
Hey, Paul, you got a copy on me?
Yes, sir, man.
Okay, I'm back, and hopefully I'm going to stay this time.
You know, that happened to me, I believe it was Monday night. I got disconnected from TeamSpeak, and that was the first time that I had that issue. And I ended up having to switch to a different PC because I couldn't get back on.
Yeah, I had TeamSpeak going bad on me, and then iRacing kicked me out. Then it wouldn't let me back in, so... hopefully I'm good now, though.
So we're taking a look at the one-on-one of David Gainforth right now, sitting in 12th. Len McNeese to 11th, and Dean Viney up in 10th. Aaron Riley in 9th. Chris Samard in 8th. Ronald Henry now still hanging on 7th. Joe Mitchell is in 6th. David Howard Jr. in your top 5 spot. We see them glowers, them rotors glowing red coming down that hill. We see the 53 Lupa Gonzalez in 4th, Adam Baker in 3rd, Travis Wall in 2nd, and Keith Mayato driving away here. I believe Keith Mayato did the same thing. He won it. What the heck is it?
Sonoma.
Sonoma, thank you. I couldn't get it out. In the Lazy Days Racing Cup Series, started on the pole, and I believe he was the only leader that night. Took home the victory. So these road courses must be right up his alley.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of following him for most of that Sonoma race. Yeah, he led the whole thing except for maybe under green flag pit stops, but he was extremely fast. I was trying to pressure him to make some mistakes, and he would not.
Yeah, and it looks like right now he's out here doing pretty good. Led all 7 laps of this race. Started on the pole. Travis Wall did get a little bit closer to him, but he's got about 8/10 on him right now. So see if he can keep that distance from him. It's just a matter of who's going to make that mistake first.
Yeah, well, Travis Wall, that last lap, set the fastest lap of the race so far, and he was 0.4 of a second quicker than Mayato.
Yeah, so we may see some heat coming out of here pretty soon.
And I do believe Travis Wall loves this track. I think it's his home track. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he won the SoMo truck race at the Glen earlier this year.
Yeah, I think he did. I remember seeing his name up on the win picture. You're absolutely right.
So I would expect Travis Wall to be a definite factor here tonight.
And one person I won't count out is Lupa Gonzalez in the number 53. He even at Sonoma, I mean, he has some speed. He does real good on these road courses. As long as he can stay out of trouble. He's another driver that's had some unfortunate mess ups here. Got caught up in a bunch of things in the last few races that were really out of his control. So hopefully he can keep it together and get up there and put some pressure on these guys. So we see now Chris Samard did get by Ronald Henry, moves Ronald Henry back to 8th. So Chris Samard trying to move forward. Aaron Riley in 9th, and I don't really see anybody around Aaron Riley right now for him to worry about. And we go back to 10th, Dean Viney. And then right behind Dean Viney in 11th, we have Len McNeese in the number 84. And we saw Billy Howard kind of lose it a little bit going into the carousel. But he is on the track and running. He's scored in 13th. And Jeff Glockner, I'm not sure what happened with Jeff, but he's sitting in the pits. And something had to have happened on that first lap. Just give me a minute. I'm trying to adjust TeamSpeak just a little bit here. I think I'm gonna jump inside with Travis Wall. We'll take a lap around with them when they come across the stripe here, and we'll turn it up and we'll hear what is going on behind the number 44, Travis Wall. Just a quick ride around with a couple of the drivers here tonight. Try to make it a little bit interesting. They spread out pretty far, so there's not a whole lot of fighting going on the track right now. Right now, Keith Mayato spreads out to about 1.3, 1.2 over Travis Wall.
And it looks like they're going to come up and catch Billy Howard, the 07 here, by a couple corners.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Billy, man, losing it, but at least he really didn't do any major damages to that car. It looks like Billy, looks like he was gonna stay low, and he'll let Keith go on by. We'll see if that's gonna hold up. 44, no, he'll go high and let the 44 by, so that's not gonna hurt him too much. And then the next driver to try and make a pass on that 07 will be Adam Baker, who's in third. And you see, Miyato didn't really gain all that much with that lap car in the way. Adam Baker will get by, and now let's see Lupa Gonzalez, if he'll take him before turn one or take him before the S's here.
I'm not sure why, but Chris Samard has been in the pits for a rather lengthy pit stop so far.
See if we can take a look. I'm not seeing any damages on the car. I'm not really sure. I know we've seen him have a little bit of trouble going into the sand there. I believe that's what, turn 11 or turn 11 or turn 12. He kind of overdrove it, went into the sand, but didn't really do any damage to the car, unless, maybe he's having a lot of handling issues with that vehicle.
Yeah, I'm looking through his lap times, and after the initial start, his lap times were extremely consistent all the way up to the time he came into the pits. So he must have, like you say, controller issues or something.
All right, now that'll score him in 13th, Jeff Glockner in 14th. And two drivers that did not take the field, Brian Neff and Michael Palmer. So right now we have 12 drivers on the track here. Keith Mayato still out front, 14 laps led from start till now, doing a great job holding off Travis Wall up to a 1.67. Oh, now to a 2.1. I wonder if Travis had a little trouble going through those S's, because it looks like Adam Baker now is closing in closer to Travis Wall there. You see now Adam Baker a lot closer to Travis Wall than Travis Wall was to Keith Mayato. So Keith Mayato right now doesn't really have any pressure on him, so he can focus on what he's doing. Adam Baker trying real hard to try to catch that 44. Let's go back to Ronald Henry in the number 75. He's shown in 7th.
Looks like we may have a battle for 4th coming up here soon. It looks like about a lap and a half ago, Lupe went wide in turn 1 and lost a lot of ground. And right now, looks like David Howard's probably getting ready to make a move on him.
Yeah, David Howard Jr., the tire man. we know him as the tire saver. So I'm sure he's got something up his sleeve there, man. Probably has a little bit on reserve. And then we see Joe Mitchell not too far behind them. He's hoping these guys get to a little bit of a side-by-side battle so that could pull him in and make that a 3-car fight. Let's take a look at David Howard Jr. real quick. Started 6th. He's up in 5th. And Lupa Gonzalez started 5th, and he's up in 4th. So both drivers did gain 1 spot.
Yeah, you were just talking about Joe Mitchell, and right now, the last lap, he turned the fastest lap of anybody on the track. So
yeah,
he's definitely gaining on him.
Yeah, he's watching these two in front, and you know he wants them guys to battle it out. He wants to get caught up in there and be a part of that. Trying to see if there's anybody else that's kind of close on the track. Everybody else is kind of spread out pretty far. Looks like they just got around the 101 of David Gameforth. And right now, Adam Baker trying to get around David Gameforth. That's going to put him 1 lap down. See Aaron Riley in the pits. He's got a little bit of right front damage. We'll have to watch and see if he gets back out on the track, or that's it for him for tonight. I know a lot of guys don't like these road courses.
I'm not one of them.
Hey, we just got caught up with Chris Samard. Hey, Chris Samard, what happened out there, man?
Well, I don't really like to say it, but I kind of feel like Dale Jr. and I missed a shift. I went from 4th to 3rd to 2nd instead of 3rd to 4th, and it blew the motor. So.
Oh. Yeah, we were looking at your times. They seem pretty good. We saw you go into the sand there on the one turn a while back, but no damage to the car. And you had some real good lap times going on, so you know we didn't really see what happened with you, man. That's a shame.
Yeah, it's kind of a embarrassing situation, but I think I'll try and get it together for tomorrow night. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. You know it happens to a lot of us. It doesn't matter. You see it even in NASCAR, man. There's some of the best. You know. It happens, man. It's unfortunate, though. You know, I know you had a good car. You had some decent laps. I know next week here in the series, we're going to be going to Mid-Ohio. You're going to be able to make it out on that track?
Yeah, I think I'll be there next week. I got to do some practicing. I practiced a little bit, but it wasn't all that great. So I'm going to try and get some practice in, and we'll see how it goes. I really enjoy doing road courses, and I'd like to say it's my strong suit, but I guess not tonight.
Not tonight. Well, that's too bad, though, man. But yeah, road courses are fun. A lot of guys are afraid of the road courses. I particularly enjoy them myself. I know Kurt also does too. So you know, hopefully we see something good next week. Any chance of getting the car back out before this race is over, or you think it's done for tonight?
I might get back out. I don't know. There's like 28 minutes left to repair, so we'll see what happens. It all depends on if, well, actually, they might finish the race before I get back out there. But.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you talking to us, man. Before we let you go, do you have any sponsors or anybody you want to give a shout out to? Got you here tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the Epping Express number 77 for being on as a sponsor, and BZ Design and SoMo Racing, Lazy Days Racing for sponsoring too. Can't think of anyone else, but they all put on a great show. So.
All right, man. Well, bummer for what happened, but we do appreciate you filling us in on what happened and taking the time to talk with us. And we'll look for you tomorrow night in the DAYZ Racing Cup Series, and we'll see you next week at Mid-Ohio.
All right, thank you. Hopefully tomorrow night's going to be better.
All right, bro. Yeah, and while that was going on, we saw Travis Wall going around.
Yeah, Joe Mitchell just hit the wall on entry to turn 11, it looks like, pretty hard.
Yeah, we see him jumping into pit road right now. A lot of damage on that car.
Yeah, it looks like he lost it coming out of turn 10. And while trying to save it, he got the outside of turn 11 pretty hard.
Yeah, lots of damage on that front end. Going to be sitting for a little while, I guess. We'll see if he comes back out on the track also.
Yeah, he had just made up a lot of ground on David Howard, because while Chris was telling us about his misshift, it appears David Howard did the same thing on the front stretch.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we saw somebody smoking in the pits just now.
Well, he caught it before it started smoking, but he lost a lot of ground to Lupe.
Oh.
And I'm showing David Howard off track somewhere.
Yeah, just seen him again right now. Up into the wall. The 101 was just getting by. Still running, though. He might need to want to come in and get some of that damage, or maybe get some tires on that thing. But I'll tell you what, that's what I'm talking about earlier, on the broadcast. It's not over till it's over. You just don't know what's going to happen out there. It's not always the fastest car that wins, I found out.
Yeah, it looks like David Howard was just entering the inner loop and turned right to enter it and never turned left. But he had slight contact with the tire wall. That was it.
Yeah, his car doesn't look bad. We're watching him right now, just coming down to the back of the 101. So right now that's going to let's take a look at the top 5. Keith Mayato still out front, 21 laps led. Adam Baker moves into second. Lupa Gonzalez moves it up to third. Travis Wall now is being shown in third. Lupa Gonzalez back to fourth, and David Howard Jr. hanging on to fifth. Yeah, we see Travis Wall did get in front of Lupa Gonzalez right there, so he's going to be scored in fourth. Pretty good recovery there by the 44. And we're at lap, 22. I can't imagine pit stops won't be coming pretty soon.
Yeah, I do believe they can go 32 laps on a tank of fuel, but being 55 laps, I would imagine they'd all split it right in half, coming around, 27, 28.
Yeah, especially depending on the tire drop off. So right now we have in the garage, or actually on the pits, trying to get repairs done, Joe Mitchell, Aaron Riley, Billy Howard, Chris Samard, and Jeff Glockner. So we have a few drivers out here tonight. Ronald Henry sitting up in sixth right now in the number 75. Ronald having a good run here tonight. Hopefully he can keep it up, break that bad luck streak.
Yeah, I was really wanting to come out and race tonight with these guys, but after a small test session, I figured it was smart to focus on the A car, the Cup Series tomorrow night.
Yeah.
These two cars are, right now the way the setup is, the gearbox, they are extremely different from each other.
Yeah, you get used to this one and then jump in the Cup car tomorrow night, man, it could end your night pretty quick. I'm not really sure about Mid-Ohio, though. I'm not very familiar with Mid-Ohio. I think I'm going to go out this week and run a couple laps on there just to kind of get a feel for it, and see kind of what we're going to be looking for next week. But I'm really curious to see how some of these guys go, because I know it's not really a familiar track with a lot of guys here in the league. That's going to be the guys that don't have wins and aren't locked in. especially the bubble drivers. I mean, that's going to be a big point shaker for the chase coming up soon.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely try to race in that one with these guys. I just don't want to affect points. And I wish I could go out there and just not hit somebody to be good. But Mid-Ohio is a very, very technical track. It feels like slow speed corners, but they're actually pretty fast. A lot of elevation changes in the corners. It'll be interesting to watch.
And I believe SoMo for the winter series this year, one of the nights is going to be road courses. So hopefully a lot of the guys will come out, get some feel for the road courses, maybe actually like them and enjoy them. I know I like the road courses, especially once I get to know a track a little bit better. I don't mind being out on there. Like everybody knows the Glen. The Glen was one of the first tracks that I've learned, memorized each turn. You kind of learn where you can be in the car. Sonoma, starting to get a little bit better at it again. I hopefully the next time that I get back on Sonoma, I'll be a little bit more ready for it. But as far as Road America, Canadian Tire, Mid-Ohio, some of the tracks that are coming up, I wouldn't be ready for them. I would have to put in lots and lots of hours of practice just to be able to get out there and try and finish the race.
Yeah, that's one thing about the road courses. It's a lot tougher to memorize, 6, 7, 8, 9, up to 20 turns at a track, rather than like worst case Indianapolis where you got 4, or Pocono you got 3. It takes a lot more time to get used to it and comfortable with the rhythm.
Yeah, and one thing I learned, and especially with you helping me out the last couple of weeks, especially here for tomorrow night's race, race the track, not the guys. That's a hard thing to do when, you're around other people and you're trying to stay in position or gain a position. It's hard to not race them, but to race the track. And I noticed when I started racing the track, I was starting to pick up some time and get a lot smoother. But hopefully I can do that tomorrow night under race conditions.
Yeah, that's big with road course racing. Race the track, not the drivers, because you're only going to be as fast as you can be. If the guy behind you is a second faster than you, your best just let him go somewhere simple. An entry to a corner and a good braking zone, and just following behind them. And you might even be able to learn where they are faster than you. But if you try to push, you're gonna drive in too deep, lock them up, slide through the corner. It's just patience and race the track is, two good keys.
Yeah, it's just hard to remember when that green flag drops, man.
A racer is a racer.
That's the truth.
I see the 53 of Lupe Gonzalez is in the pits right now.
Yeah, we see a couple of guys that come in. Ronald Henry just went in and came out. Lupe Gonzalez was in and out. I'm still waiting to see Keith Mayato and Adam Baker, how far they're going to stretch this out. Keith Mayato right now coming to 27 laps led. He's got about 4.9 seconds, 5 seconds on Adam Baker. And then about 2.5 seconds back is Travis Wall from Adam Baker.
Looks like Travis Wall's on pit road right now too.
Yep, we see him. We see the 71 of Dean Biney. So we're starting to see guys come in. And then there's a big jump in time to 4th place, David Howard Jr.
One thing I noticed is the 44 of Travis Wall had just ran a 1:12.6 the lap before he pitted, and the fastest lap of the race for him was a 1:11.6. So I look for him to gain maybe 1 second, maybe 1.1 seconds on the leader for pitting 1 lap earlier.
It's just so hard on this track to make up any time. If you're spread out that far, the guy in front really has to make a big mistake in order for you to really catch him.
Yeah, and like we just said, if you can get close enough, you can push that mistake. But how far out was Mayato when they started doing pit stops? Do you remember?
Not really. I think Adam Baker was kind of close to him, and I think fourth place was David Howard Jr., and I think he was about 22 seconds behind. Because Travis Wall right now, see, I don't know if maybe mine's not right, but it's showing Travis Wall 45 seconds behind. Adam Baker looks like, I believe, is in the pits now. Yeah.
Yeah, Adam's in the pits right now.
I have to wait for him to come back around and get everybody scored up again. Sometimes it doesn't catch up right away. Just watching Miato for the last couple laps going around. Looks like he's coming in this time. And David Howard Jr. is about 33 seconds back, so I don't think David Howard Jr. is going to get up here in time.
From my information here, I don't even think David Howard has pitted yet.
So he may be coming in also. And then Adam Baker's about 39 seconds back. We've seen Adam Baker did pit, so if he can get close enough to Keith when Keith gets out, which I'm not sure if we're going to see that.
I think it's going to be close. Oh, I thought it was going to be closer than that.
Yeah, Miato still has a pretty big jump on him.
I was looking at Mayato's lap times, and he had just a standard tire fall off. He made no mistakes on any of those laps from what lap times show.
Yeah, he's, I tell you what, man, he's definitely got these road tracks down. Like we said earlier, man, we've seen him dominate pretty much at Sonoma. Can't imagine even tomorrow night in the Lazy Days Racing Cup Series not to see a strong performance out of Miato. Adam Baker's still holding on a second. We saw Adam Baker did come in. He's got fresh tires. Keith Miato is on fresh tires. Travis Wall, I believe, is on pretty fresh tires. And Lupa Gonzalez, he's back quite a ways, but that doesn't mean it's over yet. We go back to the 75. Ronald Henry, man, sitting in 5th place. So Ronald Henry having a good run tonight. And right behind Ronald Henry is David Howard in 6th. And a little bit further back, the 84 of Len McNeese. And it looks like Dean Viney is going to get by Len. Looks like Len had a little moment there letting the 53 by. 71 took advantage of that, took that spot from Len. I believe Len's going to try and fight back. And that's for 7th and 8th right now, right there, that battle.
The last lap, Travis Wall set the fast lap of the race, and him and Adam Baker both set their personal fast laps.
Yeah, they're turning the heat up now, man.
Yeah, found the rhythm, got new tires, and time to go.
See Len McNeese going to try and take a look on the inside.
And Miato just backed it up and set the fast lap of the race.
Wow. It's almost like they're sending each other messages, you know, beat this, beat this. Yeah, we see Dean Viney able to keep that position. Len did try to take a little peek underneath, a little bit further back, but decided not. 71, 71 goes up high, gets a little bit loose. Len McNeese going to get by him again. Put Len back in 7th and Dean back to 8th. Dean going to have to go and fight back one more time, try to get that position again. Good job keeping it off each other, but man, that was close.
I think there was actually some contact between those two.
I don't know how Dean Viney didn't go around, man.
Yeah, that was a good job on both sides.
I'm trying to see if Adam Baker's making up any time. He's about 4.4 seconds on my clock. Haven't really seen it move too much either way.
Last lap, he was about 1/10 quicker.
Mayato's going to have to make a mistake in order to get this battle heated up. And right now, Mayato's running flawless. I don't foresee a mistake there. Mayato with 32 laps led. And let's look at the race summary. He has been the only leader, and we got 23 laps to go. So Mayato getting it done here. You can see Adam Baker behind him, and then Travis Wall just coming out of the turn back there, but they're just not close enough yet, but there's still plenty of time going.
Yeah, keep saying anything can happen. We've seen Travis Wall, who's a very good road racer at one of his favorite tracks. He had a mistake. Lupe's had a mistake. Last night, Adam Baker, while leading the race with, I think, eight or so to go, he ended up having a problem. So, yeah, anything can happen still.
Yeah, spun it out of 4 at Indy and almost down pit lane, almost into the wall, actually, too. Managed to keep it clean and get back out on the track, but he that lost his chance for a win. We see the 18 of Joe Mitchell back out on track, 7 laps down, but right now shown in 10th place. 9th place on the pits right now is David Gameforth. He's coming in getting some tires and some fuel. And up in 8th is Len McNeese. 7th is Dean Viney. And here comes Ronald Henry, who is a 5th place car, trying to get by these guys. They are 1 lap down to Ronald. So Ronald just waiting for a spot for these guys for them to get around them. At SoMo, these guys are racing for position, so they don't have to technically move over to let a lead lap car by. If they were alone, not racing for position, it's kind of courtesy to let the lead lap car by if they're faster. But right now, the 71 of Dean Viney, the 84 of Len McNeese are racing for position. So Ronald Henry's job to be patient and try and get by when they get a chance. Looks like Len McNeese is going to duck it down and try and let him get by here. But this way, if anybody's wondering why lap down cars aren't getting out of the way, that's a rule at SoMo that if 2 lap down cars or 2 cars racing for a position or a lap or laps down to the car wanting to pass, they do not have to stop and move. Let those guys have the right to fight it out, and it's kind of good.
Looks like Len overshot the inner loop a little bit.
Yeah, Dean Viney's going to get a good lead off of Len there, so that's going to put Dean back in 7th and Len in 8th. Len up way high out of the carousel there. Looks like Adam Baker lost a little bit of time. He's down to a 5.2 to Keith Mayato. And then probably about another 5 seconds back from Adam is Travis Wall. And then it's a long ways back to Lupe Gonzalez in 4th. Take a look at Keith Mayato. Started on the pole, has not left that number 1 spot. Has 35 laps led, coming to 36 laps led, and We'll be coming to 19 to go this time by. So Mayado showing a lot of patience, a lot of speed, and a lot of determination to take this win, dominating.
SoMo Garage, bringing you the latest racing news, sim racing talk, driver chat, and highlights from the SoMo Racing Week.
We're under
SoMo
continuous racing
drivers.
right now,
Sunday night at
and
9
we're gonna
p.m.
run a couple of
Get ready
things,
for
and then
1
we'll be
hour
back.
Kicking the tires in the SoMo Garage with your hosts, Aaron Riley and Paul Zoda.
I actually, really enjoy dirt racing. Feels good to get in the car, and we have, great cars and engines and things at KKR, so it's nice to drive a fast sprint car.
Couple of separate lines developing, three wide action on a turn two. Craig Kitzer, Casey Kane, and Garrett Pittman going at it.
I think the differences between, NASCAR and the sprint races on dirt is just a much different mindset. The way you drive your cars, the setup, the feel you're looking for. I think one of the hardest things to tell as a fan is when you're watching a race, whether it's a NASCAR race, a dirt race, is just what's really going on in the car. With iRacing, you can get the way that the track's changing, which they've done a great job in how the track changes throughout the night or throughout the race, just to try to capture it and let the fans play it and realize, like, man, there's actually a lot going on, and you can't always see that when you watch a race. So I think it's pretty neat. It's, enjoyable for me, but at the end of the day, it's actually much of a simulation, and there's a lot of ways that you can learn from that. And, early on, it was neat to look at the Cup tracks that I was going to, places that I had never been. So I think it kind of gives you a head start leading into a weekend. It's pretty real life, and that's pretty neat.
All right, we're back here. We wanted to show you another side of iRacing, the dirt side. iRacing is coming up. They're in testing right now, doing some more things that we just seen today too. So hopefully they get it done and get it out and be able to put them on the broadcast. I think that's something that the viewers will enjoy, the transitionings from night to day and day to night.
Yeah, I hope that comes sooner than later, because that looks like it's going to be a very neat feature to have in iRacing, especially how it plays with, I know we don't use dynamic weather here at SoMo, but dynamic weather with day-night transitions, that'd be pretty neat to see.
Yeah, you'll really have to learn how to stay up on top of your car. I got a message from Stephen Parks when they first put out the video. Said the Coca-Cola 600's definitely going to be a lot more difficult this next season coming up.
Well, it just adds another twist to reality. Somebody that can start the race really, really good, later in the race when the track changes and it gets dark, they might not be as good, and somebody else come up to the front, which is something you normally don't see in a fixed race. Yeah.
Well, we've been seeing that quite a bit, though, especially with the rubber, the changes they've made already with the track. with the heat transfer and the rubber going down, I've noticed myself, especially Thursday nights, on some of the tracks, you can see the rubber getting darker and you can feel the difference in the car.
Yeah, it definitely makes it a lot more fun. And while we were talking, Keith Mayato actually made a mistake. It was a very small one, but he made one.
I'd say that's not too bad considering he's been out there all night, flawless.
Yeah, flawless for 41 laps. And he gets the car a little sideways out of one.
And he's got about 6.2, 6.3 over Adam Baker, so he really has no pressure. I just think he wants to keep that distance and, not have to really worry about it. He should be good till the end of the race. We're coming to 14 laps to go this time by. See our top 5: Keith Mayato, Adam Baker, Travis Wall, Lupa Gonzalez, and Ronald Henry. I know I talked about Ronald Henry before. For some of you that haven't heard, I'll say it again. Ronald Henry used to just be here for the Winter Series. Ronald Henry's a short track driver. Does real good in the Legends, races Legends up in Canada. Real good racer, I hear. Haven't been able to go to any of his races, but seen a lot of videos and pictures. And 2 Winter Series he raced with us, very dominant. And this year we talked him into coming out and running all 3 series with us. And he kind of gave in and gave it a shot. And I'll tell you what, he's doing good. He's had some bad luck the last couple of weeks, so it's kind of hurt him a little bit, but he's up there in the points and definitely going to make the chase. And I say that's really good for a first year out. This is not his kind of cars or tracks whatsoever. And to see him out here and adapt pretty quick is really a good thing.
Yeah, for somebody to come out and adapt that quick and that well and be fast. I know he was competing top 5s a lot early in the year. It just tells you, a good racer's a good racer. And he just got to be one of those guys.
Yeah, he's definitely shown some real speed here. And like I said, got caught up in a couple of things the last few races that, unfortunate incidents there's nothing you can do about. But, man, I think he was up in second in the point standing at one point. I'm not really sure where he is now. I forgot from when I first put it up in the front, but definitely doing good. Glad to see him. I hope he does come back next season. Definitely with the improvements he's had this year, I can't imagine what next year will hold. So good to see somebody get out of their comfort zone and try something different and actually do a good job at it. And we see Chris Samard is back out on the track. It's 26 laps down in 12th, but gonna get out there and finish the race.
Ronald Henry is 3rd place in the Truck Series right now.
Yeah, so see, I mean, and this is his first season out here too. And Ronald Henry, talking to him, he was strictly short track. He didn't like anything bigger than a short track. It just wasn't his deal. And you see him come out and run a lot of the tracks that we did, run this season. And even out here now at the Glen, great going. And I see Brian Neff said that the dynamic day to night is going to be great in the Saturday night short track racing. Yeah, that is going to be awesome. That's going to bring such a great feature to iRacing. And, man, I'll tell you what, you're really going to have to get up on the wheel.
Not to change topics, but I sure wish the top 3 were a lot closer together because they just about ran the exact same lap times, all 3 of them.
Yeah, we'd have a big battle going on, especially 12 laps to go here, 11 laps to go now. So we see Joe Mitchell was able to get repairs done and back out on the track. Chris Samard back in the sand. Having a rough night tonight. I was going to say, see him out on the track, at least going to try to finish this race.
Every lap helps when you have to race here tomorrow night, too.
And then we go back to David Gameforth in the 101. He is up to 9th. Len McNeese right now is shown in 8th. And Dean Viney is in 7th. And Dean Viney really moved out pretty far away from Len McNeese. We saw those guys battling it out a little while back. And it looks like, I believe, is that Keith Mayato getting ready to, yeah, he's going to catch up to Dean Viney here in a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was during their the commercial when Len McNeese had caught back up to Dean Viney and coming out of the inner loop, going to the outer loop, he ended up spinning it. He didn't hit anything, but he lost a lot of ground.
Yeah, I could see the time really spread out between them.
It's one of those cases where he was probably trying to race, you know, Dean Viney and catch him and not just race the track and let it come to him like we talked about earlier.
Yeah. It's hard, man. It's hard to train yourself, you know. Even, you know, some of the guys when I first started here in iRacing would tell me, you know, Paulie, to be fast, you got to go slow to be fast. And, you know, that just doesn't sound right, but it is true.
Yeah, and it's no more true than on a road course.
So we see Mayato. Dean Viney does move out of the way, lets Mayato go ahead and go by. So we go back to second place. Adam Baker is about 5.1 seconds back. Let's take a look at Adam Baker here real quick. Adam Baker started second. He is in second. Not able to lead any laps as of yet, but doing a good job hanging on to second. Travis Wall, he started third. He is still sitting in third. No laps led so far. The only leader we've had here tonight was Keith Mayato. Lupa Gonzalez, he started 5th. He moves up one position to 4th. So Lupa definitely going in the right direction here. And like Kurt said earlier, these guys have been showing some pretty similar times. Then we go to David Howard Jr., who started 6th, and he is up to 5th. And Ronald Henry, who started 15th, he's got himself up to 6th. Dean Viney started 8th. He's one position closer in 7th. And then Len McNeese, who started 9th, he is in 8th. And David Gameforth started 14th. He's in 9th. And then Joe Mitchell started 4th. We saw Joe have a little bit of troubles coming out of that last turn, get some damages fixed. But Joe Mitchell shown 9 laps down, but hanging on to 10th. So not too bad. We see Adam Baker in the I can't even talk. The BD Designs. Excuse me. Let me try that again. Adam Baker in the BZ Designs Camaro. BZ Designs sponsored tonight's race. Adam Baker holding on to second for BZ Design. Man, that's hard to say when you're trying to think of other stuff to say and get it out.
You gave me a good laugh, though.
I'll tell you what, man. It's always a challenge. It's definitely a whole other side of racing, calling a race.
Yes, it is.
You know what I like? I like watching when these guys are coming down that front stretch, hitting the brakes. You're seeing them rotors glow, man. so cool how that shows through.
Yes. I wonder if you put more rear braking in it, if it actually shows less glow in the front.
Yeah, because if you watch, I was just comparing Keith Mayato to Adam Baker and Travis Wall. Keith Mayato, his rotors don't glow as much as theirs going down, excuse me, into turn one. So if you watch him going down into turn one and then quickly jump on Adam Baker or Travis Wall, you see a big difference in, it must be in their brake bias, or it could be that Mayato's not braking as hard, but I'm kind of thinking maybe he's got a little bit more rear brake into it, because his don't seem to be glowing quite as much.
Yeah, it could also be that he has a big enough lead, he could be letting off a little earlier too.
Oh, see, now that time make a liar out of me, because they were really glowing. But I just think that's so cool, though. You know, even though it's sim racing, it's the realism inside this sim on iRacing is just amazing. And you know, we were telling people in last night's race, telling the viewers, you know, the emotions and you know, the changes that you go through in a race. You know, now that we're going to be talking to drivers that you know, sitting getting their cars repaired or wrecked out of the race. You know, you're going to hear anger, you're going to hear disappointment, you know, you're going to hear it all. And it's true. You know, you come out, we see the 44 get a little wiggly. You come out, you get a little bit damaged up or caught up in something that's not yours after putting all that time in and practice and, you know, the engine night early, man, it just plays on you.
Yeah, I think it was last night when you interviewed Travis Wall after he won. I think it was him that said something about, you know, his heart rate increase is beating a little harder. And I tell you what, it's weird how, you know, sim racing can do that to you. You're sitting, you know, it could be sitting at a chair, you know, a standard desk chair and a table, yet you're that into it. It's crazy.
Yeah. You get sweaty. You get like, I know me. I start leaning in my chair, and I'm like, I almost need a seatbelt to hold me in, because I'll be leaning left, leaning right, like I'm, you know, like it's gonna really make me go faster. But you just find yourself doing it because, you know, it just really draws you in. And then, you know, with having 3 screens, you're kind of surrounded. So you know, it just submerges you right into that race. And man, you know, by the end of the night, especially a long race with like this, with a lot of turns, a lot of concentration, man, you're beat.
That, and you need a bunch of fans aimed at you, otherwise you're sweating too.
That's true. Well, we saw Len McNeese got back around Dean Viney, so Len McNeese now back up to 7th, Dean Viney back to 8th. Not really sure what happened with Dean Viney, if you know, he made a mistake somewhere and Len caught him, or Dean Viney's car is starting to go away really quick, but Len does manage to get back to 7th. Right now, Keith Mayato still out front. We got 4 laps to go, and Adam Baker's about 5.1 seconds behind. Unless Keith Mayato really makes a big mistake, I don't see anybody else coming here and taking this win. We spoke to Travis Wall last night. You know, he was the winner of last night's race over at Indy in the Portside Jaguar Land Rover Truck Series. Looks like right now, if Travis Wall hangs on to it and Adam Baker hang on to it, Travis Wall will finish 3rd here. Take a look at Lupa Gonzalez in 4th. David Howard Jr. in the number 7 run in 5th right now. got a lot of damage on that car, but is out there still running. The sixth place driver, 75, Ronald Henry. Got some right side damages also. Len McNeese hanging on to 7th, trying to put some distance on Dean Viney there.
I'm not sure if Keith Matter was backing off any, because he's wiggling in about every corner, and Adam Baker is actually putting a dent in the lead he had.
Yeah, we see him down to 4.2 right now from 5.1 just the last lap.
I mean, just about every corner I watched Mayato, he's wiggling on entry or exit.
Put the cameras a little bit closer on the 09 of Mayato so we can watch these last couple laps. Does a good job getting through that bus stop.
Yeah, he's done it perfect about 54 times already. He's definitely got a rhythm going, definitely.
Coming down here for the white flag for 1 to go. Last lap, if Mayato can hang on to it through this course, Mayato will come out here the winner, leading all 55 laps tonight.
We need to go in and add about 5 laps to this race to see what happens.
Yeah.
Looks like Baker might have had an issue. He lost a couple seconds somewhere here.
He's down to 3.6 though, 3.5 showing over here, so definitely made up some time there in those last 2 laps.
Yeah. Looked like he lost a little bit in turn 1, but apparently he didn't, because he's still on it.
Yeah, he's still, I don't know if there's enough time right here now, but man, he did close up quite a bit. Mayato coming out of the final turn here. And Mayato's going to take home the win. 55 laps led, man, from pole to finish. Congratulations to Keith Mayato. Adam Baker will finish 2nd. Travis Wall 3rd. Lupa Gonzalez will finish 4th. David Howard will take it home 5th. Ronald Henry will finish 6th. Len McNeese 7th. Dean Viney 8th. David Gain 4th, 9th. And Joe Mitchell will round out the top 10 tonight, man. That definitely a great run here by these guys. We'll let these guys get settled in a little bit. And then we'll pull a couple of them in and we'll see if we can't get a word in with them and talk to them about their race here tonight. See if we can't get a word in with Travis Wall. Let's see if we can't break into his channel. We'll see if we get a word in with 3rd place Travis Wall. Travis Wall, this is Paul up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Hey, man, you look pretty good out there. Piggly Wiggly Mobile looked like it was pretty hooked up. You started 3rd. you take it home third. Unfortunately, nobody else got to lead any laps here tonight, man. What's going on? How do you feel about tonight's race?
I really wish I could have gotten in the room at 8:05 and gotten a few more practice laps, but nah, I mean it was a decent setup. Actually, it was probably the most concerning through the S's, the uphill S's there. But other than that, I mean, it at least rotated, it stuck, and it felt quick. Except just Keith was quicker than everybody else.
Yeah, we saw he just went out and just kept on going. You guys were running a lot of identical laps. I think if you guys, even Kurt was saying, if you guys would have been closer, I think we would have seen some serious battling going on. I'll tell you what, though, you definitely look good. You took home the win last night in the Truck Series. You got third place here tonight, so it's not too bad, man. Hopefully you got something up your sleeve here for tomorrow night in the Lazy Days Racing Cup Series.
No, definitely that's the plan, and we were running really close lap times. At the beginning of the run, he couldn't get away from me. I couldn't quite catch him. Then Adam was right there behind me, and then my shifter decided to try to fall off the table going into the bus stop. But once I got going back around, I mean, the lap times leveled right off, and actually I gained quite a bit of time on the pit stop, and unfortunately I just didn't have enough to capitalize or make a move with it. But no, it was fun, and hopefully it was good practice for me for tomorrow, because usually the Cup cars is what's really unsettled through the uphills. So hopefully that was good practice.
Yeah, well, you look good here tonight, man. Before we let you get out of here, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
No, I gotta thank Lazy Days Racing for helping us out here, SoMo for putting on a great league, and Piggly Wiggly for showing up on my car this time, and can't wait for tomorrow night next week.
Yes, sir. All right, man. We'll look for you tomorrow night on PBR Broadcasting in the Lazy Days Racing Cup Series and see what you got for him, man. Congratulations on third tonight, and congratulations on the win last night, brother.
Alrighty, thanks, sir.
Alrighty. All right, let's see if we could get caught up with Adam Baker here. Give me a second to see if I can slow this down. Of course not. So let me see, where's Adam Baker? All right, let's see. Adam Baker, this is Paul up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, started second, take it home second, had a real good car out there. We saw you get into a little bit of trouble, but you managed to, get back out, keep it going. Give us a breakdown of your race, man.
That was a tiring race. I was just trying to chase down Keith and Travis for most of it. Travis, he lost it in the bus stop, and I was lucky enough to get by there and, get up to second and try and chase down Keith. I started gaining on him. I think I gained about a second, maybe a second and a half, and I went off track there in turn 10, and I thought for sure I was going to hit the guardrail on the left side as I was braking to get into that turn, and luckily I didn't hit that. Just kind of ran it through the sand out there and got it back on track. Only lost about a second or second and a half, basically what I had made up. And then just tried to keep it on track for the rest of the race. These cars were, they handled a little differently than I thought they would. They were a little bit loose on entry, and I put more brake up front, so I wasn't sure exactly what else to do. I was trying to brake a little earlier and then just try and be smooth through the turns, but Keith was just way too fast. I don't think I would have had much for him if I got to him, but if I hadn't made those mistakes, I think I would have been a lot closer.
Well, we saw there at the end, you definitely were pulling him in. You were down, I think, at 4 laps to go. You were about 5.1 seconds behind. And when we came to about 2 laps to go, 1 lap to go, you had him down to about a 2.1 second. Obviously, there wasn't enough time, but, man, you pulled it out of nowhere, it seemed like. Did you have a little bit on reserve that you were kind of trying to hang on to for that last run?
Not really. It seemed like I was able to focus a little better. I got in a better rhythm. I was getting through turn 1 in the carousel quite a bit better, which is where I'd been struggling for most of the race. And then I got some good runs through 10 and 11. And I think in the last 4 or 5 laps, I had like some pretty solid laps. Being on old tires, I ran like a 1:12.1, which which is pretty good. I mean, that was only a few tenths off of what I would have been running on fresh tires. So,
Right.
I think that was what helped me out, and I think Keith was probably saving a little bit, trying not to, spin the car or wreck it or go off track, just because he had such a big lead.
Well, you definitely had a good run here. You start second, you finish second. Got the BZ Designs Camaro out there. BZ Designs is the sponsor tonight, and we want to give them a shout out. So congratulations, man, on second place. And before we let you get out of here, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
I'd like to thank you guys up there at SR Broadcasting for everything that you do for us. I'd like to thank all the admins and all the drivers out here. It's a ton of fun. Tonight may not have been the most exciting from a broadcast standpoint, but it was a ton of fun out on track. I'd like to thank my teammates for everything that they do. I'd like to thank BZ Design for sponsoring the car and sponsoring the race tonight. Lazy Days for sponsoring the series, and all the fans who came out to watch.
No, we appreciate it. And when you go back and watch the broadcast, you're going to laugh and you'll understand. Dude, it's hard to say BZ Designs when you got a mouthful of words that you're trying to get out. I think I had to, 3 different times I had to stop and regroup and get it back out. So you probably get a big laugh out of it. But we managed to re-roll it and get back on.
I'll just tell my boss to change the name. It's all right.
All right, man, we'll go celebrate, and we'll get caught up with you and see what you got for them tomorrow night at the Lazy Days Racing Cup Series here at Watkins, Glen.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
All righty. All right, let's get to our winner tonight, Keith Mayato. Let me see where he's at. We'll get a word in with Keith. Keith Mayato, this is Paul up in the booth. You got a copy?
And for Paul.
Hey, man, I hope you got a fire extinguisher, bro, because you are on fire tonight, dude. That was an awesome run. You started on the pole. You led all 55 laps. We were talking up here in the booth, man. Pretty flawless. We saw a couple little mistakes, but nothing really major. I mean, man, dude, I don't know what your secret is, but you got these road courses down. Man, how's it going for you? How you feel?
Well, I'm happy it looked good to everyone else because it felt pretty sketchy for me when I was making those mistakes in the first run. But I don't know. I was thinking about other things during the race, not race related, and that was my problem. And then I was clipping curves and here and there. But once I got settled in and focused on the second run there, then I was able to put out some good consistent laps for at least I think so.
Yeah, he definitely dominated. We were talking about the Sonoma race and the Lazy Days Racing Cup Series that you pretty much did the same thing, came out and dominated and won that race, man. It's really good to see. I mean, you kept the car clean. We're really strong. We just want to know, towards the end of the run there, probably about 4 laps to go, you had Adam Baker down to about a 5.1. He was about 5.1 behind you or so. And when we came back to about 2 laps to go, he was somewhere around like the 2.1 or something. Were you backing off, or was that just, all you had there about that second lap to go or so?
No, I was giving everything, and I was wondering myself because I was looking at the relative there, and I was like, I don't know where he's getting the speed from, but I gotta go. And that's why at the end there with Ronald, I didn't tell him to move over, but I was like, I can't stay behind him because I saw back in the mirror that Adam was right behind Ronald. So if I had backed down just that bit, I was worried that wasn't going to be enough to stay ahead of Adam. But yeah, he must have been saving something at the end because I had nothing to even keep up with his speed there.
Yeah, we were looking at that. I think if there would have been a few more laps, I don't know, that would have been definitely a good battle there at the end. But dude, you dominated 55 laps. Nobody led here tonight but you. I mean, that's something to talk about and take home, man. So congratulations on that. Hopefully you got something here tomorrow night in the Lazy Days Racing Cup Series. I'll be doing 65 laps here. We'll have to tune in and see on PBR Broadcasting what you got for them tomorrow night, man. But congratulations on that win. Definitely a great run. And before we let you get out of here, is anybody you want to give a shout out to, man?
Yeah, I'd like to thank BZ Designs for sponsoring race tonight, and Lazy Days for sponsoring the race series, and all the guys at JAC for putting up with me every week.
Well, hey, with performances like that, man, you're only going to help team standings anyway, so I'm sure they can deal with it. But great run here tonight, man. Congratulations on it. Man, way to get it done. Start on the pole, take it all the way to the end, man. 55 laps led. That's unseen, man, so that's great. Congratulations, man, and we'll look forward to you next week, buddy.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a good night.
All right. All right, let me see. Ronald Henry wanted to get up here. Let me get in. Let me see if I can get a word in with Ronald Henry. Hey, Ronald Henry, this is Paul up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do. Paul, how's it going?
Going pretty good, man. We were talking about you a lot tonight. We were talking about you know, how you came here to run this season. We kind of convinced you to come run, that you're mostly a short track runner. I'll tell you what, dude, you're doing good. It's good to see tonight you get a decent finish. We know you had some bad luck through the last couple of weeks, but hopefully that'll turn around from here. But how does it feel? I know you're not much for road courses. How does it feel being in this car on the Watkins Glen when you're mostly a short track kind of guy?
Well, I also do road course, but usually it's it's not these cars. It's a Formula something. Totally, and it handles totally differently. I'm a go-kart racer, so I like the single seaters, but it's totally different. You really have to manage the brakes and the tires, which I didn't do very well. Yeah, you're right. Lately, I've been pretty bad luck was on my side, and tonight I pulled a bonehead move. I saw Chris was faster than I was because he was just out of the pits with his car fixed with new tires. I told him to go by, but I was trying to manage the distance I had ahead of David Howard, and I looked down too long, and when I put my eyes back on the screen, it was time to brake, and I got into Chris.
Oh.
I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah, that happens. I mean, you just take your eyes off for a minute, man, and miss that braking point. It's amazing how much these cars travel when you don't hit it just right, you know. But I'll tell you what, dude, you're doing good. You're up there in the points in the truck series. I know you're pretty high up here in the points also. And then you started 15th and finished 6th. I mean, we're glad to see you run this season. Hopefully you come back next season. I think you're definitely good competition here, and we enjoy having you here, man.
Yeah, but I still can't figure out how come these guys are so much faster than I am.
Yeah, I know, man. We'll be running tomorrow night in the Lazy Days Racing Cup Series. I'll be in that race. I'm sure I'm going to give it all I got, but I don't think I'm going to have anything for some of these guys, man.
Yeah, I'd like to challenge him to a Legends race, though.
Yeah. Well, Winter Series is coming, buddy.
All right, man. Thanks, Ed. It was nice talking to you again.
All right, man. And congratulations on 6th place. I know, it's not a win, but, considering your first season here with us, man, you're doing great, and it's good to see, man.
Hey, thanks. Thanks again.
All right. Have a good night, Ronald.
Yeah, you too, guys.
All right, that was Ronald Henry. I talk a lot about him, but it's really good to see him out here. Like I said, we convinced him to run a season here, and he ran in all 3 series. So it's definitely a lot of fun seeing somebody new come out here and get into it. So congratulations to him. I know it's 6th place. It's not the win, but it's still a good run. So I don't know, Kurt, man. I guess tomorrow night at Lazy Days Racing Cup Series on PBR Broadcasting, it's going to be 65 laps, man. I can't imagine what it's going to be like.
It's going to be busy, and I'm going to be sweating by the end of it. But 65 laps to run is a long ways. To stay clean that long is going to be tough. But I have a feeling we're going to be chasing the same 3 guys that we saw tonight with Nayato, Baker, and Travis Swall. And there might be a few others that show up, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting. Well, let me run over the results here. First, let me do the race summary real quick. Keith Mayato was your leader. There was no lead changes. He started on the pole and took it home for 55 laps and gets the win. So does it in dominating fashion, man. Congratulations to Keith Mayato on that one. We'll go over the results. Keith Mayato is your winner here tonight. Adam Baker takes it home second. Third place is Travis Wall. Fourth place will go to Lupa Gonzalez. Your top 5 is David Howard Jr. Ronald Henry will finish 6th. Len McNeese will finish 7th. Dean Viney takes home 8th. David Gainforth finishes 9th. Joe Mitchell able to get back out on the track and take a 10th place finish, so that's pretty good for Joe. 11th will be Chris Samard. We talked to Chris earlier. We appreciate him talking to us and telling us what happened. He was able to get some repairs done and get back out for a little bit. And Billy Howard finishes 12th. Aaron Riley 13th. Jeff Glockner finishes 14th. And Brian Neff and Michael Palmer were not able to take the track here tonight. So we'll see what happens next week. Same time, same channel. We'll be at Mid-Ohio for 45 laps in the Lazy Days Racing Xfinity Series. So tune in and check them out over there. Me personally, I don't really know Mid-Ohio so good, so I'm not really sure what to expect. But I'm sure we're going to see a good race. And don't forget, tomorrow night, SoMo Racing League Lazy Days Racing Cup Series will be on PBR Broadcasting right here at Watkins Glen for 65 laps, 8:45. Tune in to PBR Broadcasting. And then, of course, as always, Sunday night, SoMo Garage, 9 p.m. With Aaron Riley, myself, Joe Mitchell, and SoMo drivers talking about iRacing, sim racing, NASCAR, just about anything that's got to do with racing. And there's been a lot going on. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about with iRacing. So tune in 9 o'clock Eastern for 1 hour. If you like it, come back and watch, listen to us. We're going into SoMo Garage 20. So hopefully you enjoy it. If your first time here and you like it, please hit that like and subscribe button and follow us. And we look forward to talking to you. Kurt, thanks for joining me tonight, buddy.
You're welcome, Paul.
All right. So until tomorrow night and next week, have a good night, everybody, and have a safe race.